Welcome, traveler.
It's always Halloween at Lore Thrill, but we wanted to explore the hauntings and the ghosts that people have reported over the centuries. Have you ever seen a ghost? Some people claim that at least once in their lives they have encountered one, and while not everybody believes in the paranormal, those who do hold their experiences to be real. Some allege that they have seen faint and wispy human-like figures. Others say they have only heard footsteps and similar inexplicable noises. Moreover, there are those who claim to have experienced something less direct, yet still in every way spooky, like the dreaded feeling that someone is constantly watching you. So these are the 13 types of ghosts. Starting with the most common of all ghost types, the interactive personality ghosts are those that are believed to be the spirits of deceased humans, but not just any human. We are talking about people whom you were either familiar with or personally knew when they were alive. Could be a friend, a family member, or in some cases, even a historical figure. With that in mind, they typically appear in the form that the observer most associates with them. That's why, for instance, if you see a ghost that falls into this category, chances are they are wearing the clothes that they used to love. And not just that, you could also expect them to retain their memories, along with their former personality. But the key thing about interactive personality ghosts could be found in the name itself, interactive. These ghosts can and would most likely interact with you. They are self-aware and can walk, talk, touch objects and people, as well as acknowledge the living. Another well-known ghost type is the poltergeist. Poltergeists are notorious for their ability to manipulate physical objects, with a name that literally translates to noisy ghost. These ghosts can knock things over, send stuff flying, play with the lights, produce eerie sounds, and even physically harm animals and people if and when they want to. So clearly having them around can go from harmless to injurious really quick. The very reason why horror movies love to include them. But poltergeists are actually among the rarest form of hauntings. And that's great news for you scary cats. In occultism, the term ectoplasm refers to the strange, usually light-colored viscous substance that allegedly exudes from the body of a medium, commonly while they are in a trance. You may have seen perhaps the most popular depiction of ectoplasm in the Ghostbusters franchise. But have you ever heard such a thing as Ecto Mist? Instead of being viscous in form, Ecto Mists appear as some sort of vaporous cloud or a swirling fog that floats several feet off the ground and can either move swiftly or simply stay still. White, gray, and sometimes black in color, Ecto Mists are most frequently spotted and photographed in cemeteries, old battlefields, and other historical sites. What is scarier than seeing a ghost? Perhaps it is seeing a ghost that looks exactly like you. That is what the Doppelganger is all about. The word comes from a German term that means double goer, and in ghost lore, it refers to entities that can mimic the look of someone who is still living. One unique thing about this type of ghost is that it can appear in multiple places all at once, and seeing one of those copies typically signals that something bad is about to happen. Tragedy, death, no one knows for sure until it eventually goes down. Not exactly a ghost, but more of a paranormal phenomenon. A crisis apparition is when an image of a person undergoing intense physical or emotional distress suddenly appears to any of their loved ones. Some explain this as an individual's way of sending a psychic SOS, or letting their families and friends know about the crisis they are facing, be it severe injury, disease, mental torment, or approaching death. Fortunately, most crisis apparitions are believed to manifest while the person is still alive. Regrettably, there are still cases where help of any kind is too late. The most photographed of all ghost-related anomalies, orbs appear in the form of mostly translucent balls of white or blue light that hover above the ground. They are said to be the traveling spirits of departed humans or animals, and it is thanks to their spherical shapes that they can move around easily to quickly get to where they are going. Although frequently observed, many argue that a large number of orb sightings actually have completely natural explanations, suggesting things like dust, insects, pollen, or reflection, among other things, as the key culprits. Still, others believe that orbs are real ghosts and they are the first state that a ghost has to go through before they evolve into a full-bodied apparition. Similar to crisis apparitions, residual hauntings are technically not ghosts. Rather, they are replays of an event that transpired in the past. The theory is that when something highly traumatic happens, the site where it took place sometimes absorbs these events, and when a person enters that area, either at the same time of the day when it happened, or on the same day of the year, a paranormal playback could manifest, often to the person's shock. Ghosts that take on the shape of a swirling funnel, or a vortex, are fittingly called funnel ghosts. Often appearing in old houses and buildings, this type of ghost is believed by paranormal experts to be the spirit of a departed person returning to visit their former residence, or the people that are currently occupying. Funnel ghosts can also materialize as a spiral of light, and this is sometimes captured in photographs and videos of supposed funnel ghost hauntings. There are two types of vessels. The first is composed of commonly old vehicles that are believed to be haunted, primarily due to the residual energy that the vehicles have accumulated after years of having people move in, out of, and around them. While the second is all about ghost vessels or ghost vehicles. These are apparitions of vehicles that do not actually exist in the physical world. Ranging from ghost cars to ghost ships, these vessels are oftentimes linked to death, with the best known example being the so-called Lincoln's Ghost Train, purportedly spotted by some to still be making occasional night travels more than a century after Abraham Lincoln's death. In the final minutes before a person's death, there is a belief that the dying would be visited by the ghost of a departed family member or friend. This type of ghost falls under the Deathbed Vision category, and their goal is pretty straightforward: to comfort the soul of the dying as they come to take them home. Of course, by home, I mean the afterlife. Animal ghosts are the spirits of animals that have recently passed. It could be any animal, but among the most cited are dogs, cats, horses, and birds, and although they are typically friendly, Some animal ghosts could be pesky, especially with their described ability to interact with physical objects. Commonly, those were associated with when they were still alive. Not everyone considers shadow people to be ghosts. However, there is a reason why they got their spot on this list. It is the way they haunt. They do not necessarily engage with the living, but, like most ghosts, shadow people signal their arrival with unmistakable feeling of dread, as if to say that you are being watched, and you can try to look around in hopes of finding them. But the thing about shadow people is that you would likely only spot them out of the corner of your eye, a silhouette of what seems to be a person, distinctly with no discernible mouth, nose, or other facial features. Finally, spirit attachments are comprised of ghostly entities that can attach themselves to a living human. Take note: attach, not possess. There is a difference between those, mainly that ghosts which possess actually enter their victim's body and take charge of their physical capabilities. However, spirit attachments only tag along with the living, for reasons that often include the ghost's desire to relive the physical experiences of life, or their confusion or obliviousness to their own passing. Please let us know below what terrifies you the most, and whether we missed your favorite ghost on this list. Thank you for taking this journey into darkness with us. This is Lore Thrill. My name is Sid Myers. Sleep tight.